Hello there guys, and welcome to another Forza Horizon 5 video on my channel. So we are now in Series 32 Horizon Race Off, and it is the summer season, the summer wet season, where we have 73 points available, some brand new exclusive cars, and the new Horizon Race Off theme to take a look at. And I am back with another full festival playlist walkthrough for the summer season, where I'll hopefully be guiding you all to success with the usual seasonal advice containing all you need to know before tackling this week's challenges. And I will, as usual, try to include all of my tips and tricks for each and every individual event, as well as my suggested cars and tunes to hopefully help you on your way to completion. We've also got the additional feature of the gameplay for the PR Stunts and the odd other things thrown in there throughout the way. So I hope you look forward to everything that is coming into today's video. So before we jump into the playlist and its events, thank you for joining me and thank you for joining my community. If you do like what you see on the channel and you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, plus other types of videos and also live streams as well, then do not hesitate to like and subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on. I know that's a typical YouTuber thing, but I do have to say it, and obviously if you hit the like button, subscribe and leave comments, then that shows me that you are enjoying the content, and it shows me what you like about it, what I could improve, etc. So do that, do feedback to me what you think about my content, and I hope that it helps you with the festival playlist. Whether you're new or experienced in the game, hopefully my tunes and other general advice will hopefully help you as well. You can also contact me on Xbox or Discord, as well as the YouTube comments should you need any additional advice. So on Xbox, my gamer tag is in the top left there, Shylo 2017, and on Discord it is the same username, but it is with a lowercase s on Discord. So without any further ado, let's begin. As I said, we're in the summer season, but before we jump into its events, we're going to be taking a look at the rewards for the summer season and also for the Horizon Race Off update. Starting off with this week's seasonal rewards, we have our 20 points and our 40 points rewards, which are achieved out of a total of 73 points for the whole season. So these rewards are typically new exclusives with the current update, or they are other hard to find exclusives reappearing from previous updates that are highly sought after by the community. So this week the 20 points reward is the brand new to Horizon 5 and I believe brand new to Forza 2023 McLaren Artura. So it's one of the latest McLarens to come. I do believe this is a hybrid, so following the latest generation of supercars that are moving over to the electric era. And this is one of them, the McLaren Artura, and that is your 20 point reward, and you can expect to take around 30 minutes to unlock this, depending on which events you choose and in which order. And then the second, the 40 points reward, which will typically take you maybe just under an hour, again depending on what events you choose, is the Porsche Macan Rally Raid. So apparently that is a hard to find exclusive car. Perhaps it isn't as sought after as some of the other rewards, however it is still there for your 40 points reward. Moving over to the series rewards, these can be unlocked by obtaining a load of points across the whole series, i.e. all 4 seasons or weeks. So you will of course need a certain amount of points out of the total for each week to work towards these. So for example, 20 points each week will get you your 80 points for series reward, and 40 points every week will enable you access to the 160 points reward. But obviously this is only a rough guide as to what you'll need to do. So for 80 points this season we have the number 2 Audi S1. This is a hard to find legendary car. I believe it was brought back to Horizon 5 with one of the updates. And then we also have for 160 points the Lamborghini Gallardo Spider. I've actually driven one of them in real life, so I do have a particular fondness for that car. It's also very nice. I've got one tuned to the top of A class, and that is your 160 points reward. Of course, with it being the start of a new series, there are a few things to talk about. I'll drop a couple of clips and screenshots in as I'm talking here, but it's the Horizon Race Off update. So the Race Off is basically 2 teams. So there's the asphalt races and the off-road races, and you basically just complete the seasonal races and other races on the map. So I believe they said that rivals and stuff like that doesn't count, but any other races that official races get to give points towards these teams, and as you can see at the bottom there's kind of a bar, and that will gradually move along as players from all around the world complete the races for each of the teams, and you can pick both teams as well if you want to. So if you just want to play as normal, and you'll get yourself points towards each team, and then obviously once one team is completed, you'll get that reward, so the 2024 Ford Mustang for example, and then once the other team is completed, then everybody will also get the Ford Raptor R. So we will at the end of all of this get both of those cars for all of us in our garages, and then obviously there's the new props that they brought in with EventLab. There's the new car pack, which is the acceleration car pack, which has got 4 cars, including the Supervan 4 that I am currently driving, amongst other things. But I won't spend too much on that, because I do realise that the intro to this video will become quite long if I carry on waffling about Series 32. They haven't really fixed anything, which is a shame. I would have hoped for more things to be fixed, but they've fixed about 3 things that nobody really asked them to fix, and probably nobody knew was even broken. But that's life. So, without any further ado, let's get straight into it. We'll be jumping straight into the Forzathon section of the summer season, and we'll be working through the festival playlist in chronological order, section by section. To start then, we have our first section of the festival playlist, which is the Forzathon section. This covers 1 weekly challenge, 7 times daily challenges releasing across the week, and then a Forzathon shop to spend your well-earned points over at the end here. So we'll start with the Forzathon weekly challenge, which this week is called What to Drive? So, completing this Forzathon weekly challenge will get you 5 seasonal points, and it'll also get you some Forzathon points. This will be 80 points as standard, and that will double to 160 points if you own the La Casa Solariga player house, which comes free with the VIP pass, and owning this also grants you double Forzathon points in every Forzathon related event, including Horizon Arcade, where Forzathon points are your reward for completing each round, and thus I highly recommend that you purchase this house, especially if you like to spend your points in the shop. So moving over to the chapters, the first one is called Dual Blue, and it wants you to own and drive either the 2008 Subaru Impreza WRX STI or the 2013 Subaru BRZ. Now I'm not sure if you can mix and match, I'm not sure if you have to stick with one, so if you choose the Impreza, you may have to stick with that, or you may have to stick with the BRZ if you choose that, or BRZ for the people that pronounce it like that. I'm not sure. You'd have to test that, and if people do want to test that, then feel free to let me know in the comments. I may try it myself as well when I complete the challenge. But basically you've got to pick one of these cars, so there's a choice, and then using your chosen car, you then complete the rest of the chapters. And it is important to note that you do need to make sure that you use that given car for the rest of the chapters. So like I said, you may be able to use both of these cars throughout the chapters, but you can't then use any other Subarus. It has to be the ones that are named in the challenge. And also, if you want to download a tune for your car or cars, you may download mine. I've created a couple. They're not really anything special. The one for the BRZ is just a cruise road build in A-Class, and the one for the Impreza is just kind of a cruise rally tune, a casual rally tune. So both of those are shared. I'll pop the share codes up on the screen under my gamertag Shylo 2017. Tuning is completely optional, so it's completely up to you if you do choose to do it, but it may just make your life a bit easier when you're completing the subsequent chapters. Once you are in either of your Subarus, you can move on to Chapter 2, Pitching Corners, which wants you to earn 6 stars at drift zones in any car. Now it says at any drift zone, which implies that you must pick a drift zone and stick to that drift zone, earning 6 stars in total from that one specifically, rather than, for example, using several drift zones to complete this challenge. Obviously you can't get 6 stars at once, so you're going to need to get 3 stars twice, 2 stars 3 times, 1 star 6 times, or whatever other combination you happen to get. Obviously if you don't get any stars, then you're going to have to do it more than the times, but obviously the quickest way to do it is pick a drift zone where you think you can get 3 stars. If you've got the Impreza, you may want to pick an off-road drift zone, and the BRZ you may want to pick a road drift zone, completely up to you. but pick one with a reasonable objective, and then you are more likely to be able to get 3 stars and thus only need to do 2 runs of that drift zone. But you can filter your map to drift zones to help you locate them, and it should be fairly simple. You can also download a drift tune if it makes your life easier. I'm sure there'll be somebody out there that's created one specifically for this chapter, so you can do that if you want to. Chapter 3, At Your Best, then wants you to take a photo of either car for your collection. So very simple, you just need to go wherever you are on the map, open up photo mode, and if you want to make it scenic, make it lovely, by all means, but just take a photo, wait for it to register, and then you can back out of photo mode, and that chapter should be completed. You could even team up with somebody in a convoy and take a photo of both of the cars if you want to, like in the thumbnail of this challenge here. And then finally, Chapter 4, Test of Skill, wants you to either win a dirt race or a street race in either of your cars. So obviously that's implying that the dirt race would be for the Impreza and the street race for the BRZ. However, you could do it the other way around if you wanted to. Or you could even, whatever you want to do, it's completely up to you. But you do need to make sure it's either a dirt race or a street race, and you also need to make sure that you win it. So you can lower your difficulty all the way down to tourist if you want to. There's no set difficulty restriction for these Forzathon challenges, so you can make your life easier like that. But I would make sure that it is like a standard race with AI in it, driver tars, and all of the conditions. If you want to try out an EventLab, you can do. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It's a bit hit and miss. But however you choose to do it, win either a dirt race or a street race in either of them cars, and that will complete the final chapter of the weekly challenge, and therefore complete the weekly Forzathon challenge, What to Drive, for the summer season. Next up in our primary section is the daily challenges. So there are 7 of these for the week, releasing 1 per day for the entire 7 days across the span of the week. They also each last for 7 days, so 6 of them, with the exception of the first one, will be active until next season 2, meaning you don't necessarily have to rush to complete them every day and or before season change again, except for the first one of the week. So I personally prefer to complete them in batches should I need a few points more for the reward cars. However, I'll leave that up to you on what you choose to do with them. But aside from this, I'm not going to spend too much time on these due to them generally being fairly self-explanatory. However, there are definitely cases where they can prove a little tricky, or perhaps something is unclear, and should this be the case with any of these this week, as I said earlier, just drop me a comment down below or message me on Xbox or Discord, and I can offer any assistance that you need, be it tunes or anything else. To conclude our first section, we can now cast our attention to the Forzathon shop, where we've got a few things to splash our points on. So as always, there's 2 cars, there is a horn, and there's 2 clothing rewards amongst the usual wheel spin and super wheel spins that perhaps are a bit pointless, but they're there if you want to spend your points on those, or should I say waste your points on those. These 3 are all 75 Forzathon points each. Then we have the Aston Martin Vantage for 225 Forzathon points, and we've got the Porsche 185 959 for 600 Forzathon points. I believe the 959 is the one that's around 1.5 million in the auto show, so it may be worth you spending the points as opposed to the credits. Again, I'll leave that up to you. And then the Vantage is probably a couple of 100,000 credits in the auto show. So again, it's up to you how you choose to purchase that if you want to purchase it. But regardless of what you choose to do with the Forzathon shop, that wraps up our first section, the Forzathon section. Following on from our first section, we now have the season events section, which this week covers Horizon Arcade, the trial. We've got 1 times EventLab. We've only got 1 PR Stunt this week, but then we have 4 seasonal championships, which, as you may notice, span all of the racing events, or the main racing events, excluding drag racing, that are in the game. First up then, as we are working through in chronological order, is the Horizon Arcade minigames, and all you need to do for this is to complete any Horizon Arcade theme. So you'll notice that when you enter a Horizon Arcade there are 3 rounds, and all you need to do basically is complete all 3 of those rounds, and once you've done so you'll hit yourself 3 points, and you also get yourself some Forzathon points. As I mentioned earlier, those Forzathon points will be doubled if you own the La Casa Solariga player house. It will be 30 Forzathon points for completing all 3 rounds, or 60 after it doubles. So basically you just need to head to one of the circles on the map that are the purple or pink circles, For some reason there aren't any on my map at the moment, even though I've just clicked on it. But they're basically pink circles. There's always 2 of them on the map at any given time. I believe that one of them is always a drift one, but then there's also others such as wreckage, air, speed, etc. And you just need to complete the instructions, and the difficulty or objective of the challenge will vary depending on how many players are completing it. So if it's only you, you'll have much less to do than if there's 4 or 5 of you completing the Horizon Arcade. And to be honest with you, it is usually only 1 or 2 people that do it at a time because there's so many of them. So they run every 15 minutes, and you've got 10 minutes to complete all 3 rounds. Very simple. Next up we have the trial. So for those of you who don't know, the way the trial works revolves around a co-op team system. You are part of a team of up to 6 players, usually randoms unless you are part of a convoy, and if you do choose to run with a convoy, make sure it's a maximum of 6 players, as you can't enter with any more than 6 for this event, so the usual convoy maximum of 12 won't be eligible. Your team then has the aim of trying to defeat the opposing team of 6 driver tars who are set to unbeatable difficulty. In order to do this, you must rack up points, which you do by overtaking the driver tars vehicles. However, they also get points for overtaking you and your team, so it requires a team effort to win in this set of races. And hence, try not to ram your teammates, as you're actually not racing them, you're racing the driver tars. Now for the event itself. This week's trial is called Young and Old. It will get you a huge 10 points towards the seasonal reward cars, plus the additional event completion reward of the 2019 Lamborghini Urus. The restriction to follow for this trial is A-Class modern sports cars. So as I mentioned in the intro, I'll be offering car and tune suggestions for each event we go through. So let's do what we usually do and take a look at the cars I prepared, which I have favorited for my benefit and speed. So here we are in my virtual garage, and for this event I have 6 cars and their tunes to showcase under the restriction of A-Class modern sports cars. So firstly, we have the 2015 Audi TTS Coupe, the first of a trio of TTs that we've got here. This one is a fairly balanced build, so has plenty of power whilst also being decently controllable and comfortable with the corners. This actually went up against the 2018 version in the TT Versus video that I did probably around 2 years ago now, so if you want to watch that, it is on the channel. Probably not as high quality as these videos because I've improved the way that I do these videos nowadays, but also remember that this 2018 version is a car pass only. And then the other TT that we've got is the 2010. And then we've got a 2008 BMW Z4M Coupe, again another fairly balanced build for that one. Moving along the line here, all the way over here, we have the 2012 Lotus Exige S. I do believe this one is kind of an off-meta kind of car, so it's not quite in the top category, but in the right hands it can perform well. However, this is my tune, so I'll leave you at that to your interpretation. And then finally at the end here, you've already seen it, but it's the 2013 Subaru BRZ. If you didn't use it in the Forzathon, here's another chance for you to use it now. Next up on the agenda is a selection of community EventLab events that the developers have selected to feature here. I say selection, but this week we actually only have 1 of them to work through. It is, however, by Josie, who is a very renowned EventLab creator in the community, absolute legend of the EventLab scene. So I'm sure that this will be a top-notch event. And the event itself is Take No Michi Night Race. And apparently it's also available in day for those of you that want to try it in day as well once you've played this version. It will get you 3 points, and it'll get you also the 2022 Cupra Formentor, which is an exclusive car actually, I believe. So interesting that they've put that there as an EventLab reward. I don't really know what this track involves, however it might be some kind of stunt course, or it might just be a race track, but nevertheless the restriction that we have to follow is B-Class Evo versus Impreza, so that is of course Mitsubishi Evos versus Subaru Imprezas. From the Mitsubishi side of this duet, we have the 2004 Evo 8. I was going to say 6 then, but that's the Evo 8. We've got the 1999 Evo 6, and we've got the 2008 Evo 8. I'm not really sure what was going on with my pronunciations there. I seem to be having difficulty speaking English. From the Subaru side of the equation, we've got the Subaru 22B from 1998. We've got the 1990 Subaru Legacy RS. although actually thinking about it, you might not be able to use that one because it's technically not an Impreza. We've got the 2008 if you want to pop a B-class tune on that one, and then we've got the 2005 Impreza WRX STI. Following on from that excellent community contribution, EventLab from Josie, we now have a seasonal PR stunt to tackle. So as usual with this one, we'll be going through the restriction, and then we'll be going through what car I've suggested, or cars, and then I'll show you some gameplay of me completing it, so that you can see what kind of run-up I'm taking to kind of judge how you will attack this PR stunt as well. Obviously we've only got one of them this week, usually there's 2 or 3. However, the event this week is the Mountaintop Danger Sign. As the name suggests, it's on the top of the mountain, one of the ones that's on the top of the mountain, and it'll get you 2 points towards the playlist and a super wheel spin once you've completed it. The restriction this week is S2 class anything goes, so you can take anything that falls under S2 class. You can tune stuff up to S2 class from lower classes if you want to. And this is the event here, so the requirement or the objective is 540 metres from this danger sign. So let's head over to my garage, see what S2 cars that I've got, and then of course I'll show you my gameplay. Okay then, so my suggested cars for these stunts, bearing in mind that it's not a race event, and I've also tried to consider that you need quite a lot of acceleration for this danger sign. These are the cars that I've suggested or selected. So we've got the Ariel Atom V8, we've got the Audi RS Avant from 2015, we've got the Ferrari 458 Italia, we've got the Ford Supervan 4 from the new acceleration car pack if you own that already. We've got the Hoonigan Hoonicorn, you could probably use that. We've got the Hoonigan RS200 with my tune on it. The Mercedes AMG 1, of course, in highway mode for maximum performance. The Porsche 918 Spider, the Porsche 911 Carrera from 2019, and then we've got the Rimac Concept 2 with 2 versions of my tunes on it. One at the top of S2 class and one smack bang in the middle of S2 class. Moving away from the department of seasonal PR stunts, we now have 4 seasonal championships to attack. As I mentioned earlier, there's one of these for each of the main racing events in Horizon 5, excluding drag racing. So these can be completed either in solo or co-op / PvP, although if you are completing with a convoy, I would avoid the PvP option and instead use the co-op option, because PvP means that only one of you will receive the award, and no doubt that is not what you want to be the outcome. So playing solo will mean that you'll spawn back into free roam after each event, and you're then required to drive or fast travel to each of the other events, which will be marked in a white and red colour on your map when you enter the championship. So as you can see here, it's kind of white on red, but it'll be red on white, so you'll be able to see which ones are in your current championship. And you can filter to seasonal events on your map to help you find these. And the co-op version will automatically fast travel you and your teammates to each event, and it'll work the same way as the trial. However, these championships should be locked to highly skilled driver tire difficulty as opposed to unbeatable. This week's first seasonal championship is called Super Powered. It will get you 5 points towards your festival playlist rewards, and also a number 1107 VW Dingo Buggy. This one's based on road racing, and the restriction is S1 class Super GT, so you know exactly where we're going to be heading now for my car suggestions. Just the 3 S1 Super GTs to suggest for this first championship, and they are the 2017 Ferrari 812 Superfast, the 2017 Mercedes AMG GTR, and the 2011 Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG, all tuned by myself. Following that, we have the next seasonal championship, a Rally Good Tour. This one's based on dirt racing, hence the name, or rally racing, you may say that. And it'll get you another 5 points, and this time the 1987 Pontiac Trans Am. So the restriction for this one is B-Class Japanese Modern Rally. You've actually seen all of my Japanese Modern Rallies when we did the Evo versus Impreza EventLab restriction, so you can refer back to that for those car restrictions. All of the Mitsubishis and the Subarus, there aren't any modern rallies that are outside of them two manufacturers, which are of course both Japanese as well. So refer back to those for the car restrictions for that one. Summer season third seasonal championship comes in the form of street racing, and it is called Racing the Streets. This will get you another 5 points and the 2003 Ford Focus RS. And the restriction for this one is S1 class track toy. So let's head back to my garage for the track toy restriction. Okay then, so definitely quite a few to work through for this restriction, starting off with the 2015 Aston Martin Vantage GT12, the all-wheel drive, and we've got 2016 Dodge Viper ACR. Both the tune and the livery for this one are from one of my channel moderator and good friends, Dobre /Andrew9565, so I'll leave his gamer tag in the description. And we've got the 1994 Ford Supervan 3, the 2016 Mustang Shelby GT350R, the Jaguar XKRS from 2015, the Lotus 11 from 2016, the 311 for those of you that want kind of a purist build, the 2021 McLaren 765 LT, the McLaren 620R, which is a Car Pass exclusive, and finally the 2021 Porsche 911 GT3, which is a Festival Playlist exclusive. Okay then, and to wrap up the season events section of the Summer Festival playlist, we have the final championship, A Good Sport. This one is based on cross country. It'll get you another 5 points and a Chevy 150 sedan, and the restriction for this final championship is B-Class Sports Utility Heroes. We wrap up the championships with just another 3 car suggestions for this final championship, and that comes in the form of the 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee, not to be confused with the 2018 Trackhawk version, the 2018 Land Rover Range Rover Velar First Edition, and the 2019 Porsche Macan Turbo. That wraps up our second section, season events, which means we can now progress over to the third section, challenges. Obviously, the first 2 sections and the introduction have taken us quite a while, but these latter 3 sections won't be as long, so do not worry, it won't be another half an hour for the rest of the video. We'll hopefully get these wrapped up in around 10 minutes. But back to the challenges section, and this week it covers a treasure hunt, a photo challenge, and an eliminator challenge, so we'll be starting across here with the treasure hunt. Starting then with this week's treasure hunt, it is called Star Searching, and upon completion you'll get yourself 3 points and 100 Forzathon points. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the clue, we're going to decipher what you need to do, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and complete the treasure challenge myself, and then I will show you the exact location of the chest for those of you that want to know or are having difficulty finding it. So I do have to say as a disclaimer that if you at this point don't want to see the location of the treasure chest because you want to find it yourself, then you'll have to skip to the next event of the festival playlist, which of course will be the photo challenge, and I will use you can use the chapters in the description. They're usually added to the description within 24 hours of upload, so you can use the chapters to skip to the photo challenge, or you can go ahead and do it yourself, pausing the video whilst you do it. It's completely up to you, but I do just want to say that to make sure that I don't get any complaining comments that I revealed the location of the chest and you didn't want to see it. So there you go. So the treasure clue for this week is as follows. In the 50s, we looked to the stars and space for design inspiration. Take a space-age car and look for the tool to see the bright night sky. So, what do you need to do? Firstly, you need to know which car you need to be in. And as far as I'm aware, you can use any car from the 1950s, hence the in the 50s at the start of the treasure clue. However, if you want to play safe, you can use the car that's in the thumbnail of the photo challenge, which is the 1953 Chevrolet Corvette. Then what else do you need to do? Well, you can also see in the photo there in the background, there is the Gran Telescopio. That is a landmark in the game. It's on the top of the mountain on the dirt side, kind of around the back. And what you need to do is you basically just need to drive up to the treasure, up to the Gran Telescopio, the telescope. And that should be all you need to do. Then you'll get a message saying treasure challenge completed. Then you'll see a an orange kind of pinky circle pop up on your map, and the treasure chest will be located somewhere within that circle. So if you used the way that barn finds work to help you figure out how this will work, so basically somewhere within that circle is where it's located, and you've got to go and find it. But you also get an additional clue when you return to your festival playlist after that circle has popped up on your map, and the thumbnail here will have changed, so it'll no longer say the treasure clue. It will be a picture of where the chest is located, kind of obscured a bit, just to give you an extra clue. But of course you can always use me, because I will be giving you the exact location as I said. So hopefully that's all you need to do. I'll go and do it now, and then I'll see you in a second when I'll reveal the exact location of the chest. Okay, so for those of you that want it, this is the circle that pops up on your map to give you a rough location of where it is located. Heading back to your festival playlist, this is then the clue that you get for the additional photo. So you can see it's kind of a bit of a fence, and the volcano, or should I say, well, the mountain, the volcano, whatever you want to call it, is in the background, which suggests that it must be kind of the sea is behind us, if you get what I mean. And then returning to the main world, this is the exact location of the chest. So it's on this corner here of this road by the Lacabana player house that you can purchase. Smash through it and you'll get yourself 100 Forzathon points and 3 festival playlist points. Succeeding that treasure hunt, we now have a simple photo challenge to take a look at, and this week's photo challenge is #uncovered. It will get you 2 points and a car horn reward, paint spray. So it wants you to take a photo of any off-road car at Uxmal. Now off-road, I'm assuming, is referring to the restriction of off-road, which doesn't include off-road buggies or unlimited off-road. I think is it unlimited off-road? I think it is. So it can't include them. There is a restriction just of off-road, and it includes, one of the cars included is the Ford Ranger T6, which is pictured there. And then you need to head over to Uxmal, which is located on your map, all the way down here when the map loads. So Uxmal is all the way down here, just by the bridge, so you can see the ruins, and you just need to open up photo mode, take a photo of any off-road car, making sure it falls under the off-road category, and that should get you your points and your golden sticker. Advancing to the last challenge of this challenges section, we now have ourselves an Eliminator feature. So I'm fairly confident that this objective is being the same every time the Eliminator is featured in the playlist, but not to worry, as it at least keeps things simple. So all you need to do is finish 30th or better in a round of the Eliminator, so hopefully nice and easy. You can either enter a round via the icon in the online tab of your pause menu, or you can head over to the icon on the map located kind of in the northeast and enter there. Then simply play until you see the driver's left text display in the top left of your screen to read 30 or less players still in the round, and at that point you may quit the event or wait to be challenged or be challenged and let your opponent win so that you are eliminated naturally. Personally, I'd opt for the second option over the quitting option, as I haven't been able to test whether quitting actually still counts your challenge completion, and you run the risk of it invalidating it. If you so choose, you may also play on to until you are beaten, or you may end up winning the round, but I'll leave that up to you, because all you need to do to get your 2 points and your Forza Link reward preparing for takeoff is to finish 30th or better. We will now take a look at the penultimate section of the festival playlist for the summer season, which as always is the monthly events, or you may know them as a Series 32's monthly rival challenges. As the name suggests, these last for the whole month and can be completed in any of the weeks of the month, so you may choose to do them this week, or you may leave them to autumn, winter or spring. You only have to complete them once, so it's completely up to you when you choose to do them. I'll cover them in each week's video, so don't worry if you don't complete them this week, because I'll recap them in the videos that I'll do further into the series for autumn, winter and spring, so you can always refer back to that if you want to complete them later. But for those of you who do want to do with them this week, we shall go through it now. So I'll just quickly explain how the points work for these monthlies, because they can be a bit confusing. So as you can see, you'll get 4 points for completing each event. However, that is the monthly total, and that will therefore be what is added onto your series points count when you've completed each event. This will then be split into 4 to cover the 4 seasons, So you'll actually get 1 point added onto each week's seasonal points total. So for summer, autumn, winter and spring you'll get 1 point each. And then obviously with there being 2 of them for this month, that means that once you've done both of them, you'll get yourself 8 points added onto the series total. And then once that's been split by 4, you'll get 2 points added onto each week's seasonal total. So hopefully that makes sense. May seem a bit complicated at first, but I'm sure you'll understand it in no time once you've seen it for yourself. Anyway, so for this month, as I said, we've got 2 Rivals Challenges to attempt. One in the Ford Raptor R that you get for completing the dirt side of the race-off, and then we've got the 2024 Ford Mustang that you get from completing the road side of the Horizon 8 race-off, or the asphalt races. And the objective is the same for both of them. However, you do of course have to complete each one separately, and hence completing one won't automatically do the trick for them all. So that objective is simply to post a clean lap to complete. So it sounds pretty simple, and hopefully it will be, but you do need to make sure that you don't do one of these 3 things: hitting walls or any other non-destructible objects during your lap, using rewind at any point during your lap, or missing a checkpoint or getting your car reset in some other way during your lap. Any of those will flag it, leaving an exclamation mark next to your time, which means that you'll not count as it is a dirty lap. So simply avoid those 3 things and you can cruise around at a slow pace, and hopefully you'll have no problems. And you also don't need to beat your rival either, so it doesn't matter who you're up against as long as you make sure that you post a clean lap. By all means you can carry on, try and get a faster time like I sometimes do. But the objective is simply to post a clean lap, and once you've done that you can quit the event and it should have turned gold in your festival playlist. To round out our festival playlist walkthrough for the summer season of Series 32, we have our latter section, which is the expansion section, and this covers, as you might expect, the events on the Rally Adventure expansion and also on the Hot Wheels expansion. Now, needless to say, you are required to own both of these expansions to access their respective events. You must additionally reach a certain point in their career modes to be granted access to these exclusive expansion festival playlist events, so you don't automatically get to do them as soon as you load up the expansions. If you don't own these expansions and you wish to give them a go and to be able to access these challenges, you can purchase them as part of the Premium Add-ons bundle, the Expansions bundle, or the Rally Adventure can be purchased on its own if you so wish. Now quickly to run through their events, we have a speed trap, a seasonal PR stunt and a seasonal championship on each expansion. So we'll go through the restrictions. Obviously we've already talked about how each of them work, and they work in the same way as they do on the main maps. So the PR stunts, you know how they work. I'm not going to do the seasonal gameplay for those, and I've also explained how the seasonal championships work, so you can do them solo or co-op again on the expansions. So the speed trap on the Rally Adventure expansion is Ora Grande Rush, 2 points in a super wheel spin, and the restriction is S2 anything goes. So you've already kind of seen my suggestions for that one. And the one on the Hot Wheels is the Drift Zone Rock Slide, and again 2 points in a super wheel spin and S2 anything goes for that one. I have got a couple of drift cars in my garage, which I'll show you in a second, for that one if you want some specialised drift tunes for S2. And the seasonal championship on Rally Adventure is called From Strength to Strength. It's based on kind of the road racing team of the Rally Adventure expansion. It'll get you 5 points towards the playlist and a 1975 Ford Bronco. And the restriction for that one is A-Class Modern Muscle. Again, we'll go to my garage in just a second for all of these. And on Hot Wheels we have Cryptid Sightings based on hazard events. This will get you 5 points and a 2018 Megadan RS. And the restriction is S1 Class Rally Monsters. So now let's quickly head over to my garage. We'll cover all of those restrictions in one go. Okay then, so for your A-Class Modern Muscle, we have got the 2016 Cadillac ATS-V. That, along with the 2008 Dodge Magnum SRT-A, are both tuned by one of my good friends, Wolf. So I'll leave his gamer tag in the description. You've probably seen him in the comments before if you're a regular. So both them tunes are by him. Then we've got the 2022 Cadillac CT4V Blackwing, not to be confused with the CT5. And the lovely livery there is by, again, Dobre, as per the Viper that we talked about earlier. And then we've also got the 2013 Ford Shelby GT500, the 2018 Ford Mustang GT, and then moving over to your drift cars, you can use the Supervan 4 again if you want to. The Ford Mustang Shelby GT350R, a different tune to before. This one's in S2 class rear wheel drive, and I actually built it on Hot Wheels during one of my streams. Then we've got a Formula Drift Corvette, the 777, another drift car, and then your S1 Rally Monsters. We've got for the Hoonigan Escort from 1978. Got the Hoonigan Escort Cosworth from 1991, and then over here we have got the MG Metro from 1986. So they are all your cars for the expansion events. The conclusion of the expansion events means we have completed all of the sections in the festival playlist, and that means we have reached the end of this week's festival playlist full walkthrough. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Your support really means the world to me, and it's a motivating factor in putting hours into these videos every week, because it is a lot of time and effort, but I do it to help you guys out, and hopefully my tunes, tips and tricks and everything else from today's video will help you to blast through this week's events with ease. But of course, let me know if you need any further advice using Xbox, Discord or the YouTube comments down below. If you enjoyed and would like to see these videos every week plus other content and live streams, do not hesitate to click the like and subscribe buttons and turn notifications on for alerts when I next upload or go live. You can also check the community section often for posts with important information and occasional polls and quizzes for you to get involved in. But once again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy this week's festival playlist. I hope that you can complete the challenges following this guide using my tunes, etc. And I will hopefully see you next week for autumn when we've got the 2020 Audi TT RS as our 20.1. See you then. Bye.